Hey everybody, it is Elsid932 on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me. I know this was pop-up. I usually schedule these lives. I usually give you a heads up. I usually give you enough time to select notify me. But woo, it may be a holiday week, but it certainly seems like a long week for me already. I have been running errands, and in the running of the errands, I didn't know if I would be back in time today to actually do an unsolicited advice, so I did not post it early enough. So, hey, we are here, we are here, we are here. And I do appreciate you for being here. So, we have some exciting things coming up in the channel. I will be posting something exciting happening next week. Please look out for me posting that live and that announcement, which is, for me, I'm really giddy about it. I'm really happy about it. I am excited totally about next week and what's coming up for the channel. So please make sure you do like this live, hit the notification bell so that when I do pop up unexpectedly, that you will get the notification that I'm here. But I'm sorry, I usually give you enough time to get a notification going instead of popping up. But hey, life is lifing, and I'm glad I'm here to life with you right now. So this is unsolicited advice. This is where I go all scour the internet, or I wait for you, the viewer, to send me something on my Instagram. Send me, something that you would like us to give advice on. And so I have about 7 of them today that we're going to go over. Plus, on Fridays, we have LSID 932 unscripted. I don't have anything planned. There's a post for each week so that you know exactly, what you want me to talk about. And we start there and we end up anywhere. That's why it's LSID unscripted. So please make sure you say hello, whether you're on the live or you are on the replay. So let me get to the first one. We always start off mild and then get to spicy with this unsolicited advice. But everyone has posted, it's either on Reddit or IG or someplace they've posted asking the general public for advice. So we're going to try it a little bit different this time. Okay. We're going to try pulling it up a little bit different. Okay. Let me see. Okay. That seems to be a little different because someone asked, Elsa, I don't even see you when you are reading it. So we'll try it this way. It says a 38-year-old male says, my partner, 36-year-old female, abandoned me while hiking in Yosemite. My partner's 36-year-old female and I, a 30-year-old male, were hiking in Yosemite. We had hiked all day, a really strenuous trail to a waterfall with a lot of elevation gain, and both of us were carrying a backpack weighed down with water. On our descent trip, the last 4 miles, I was exhausted, but still going at the normal walking pace, taking occasional breaks. My partner said I was going too slow and basically left me to run down the mountain herself. It took me an hour to eventually catch up to her. This shocked me when I later confronted her. She said it was my own fault for not being as conditioned as her. I kept insisting this is not normal behavior or just abandon your partner. This isn't the first time she's done this, and I would never do something like this. Would you accept this kind of behavior? How would you approach a partner who never accepts they are wrong and it's everybody else's fault? Y'all, how would we classify this? So he's saying we walked, and he said on the downhill it was 4 miles and it took him an hour to catch up with her. Sir, I couldn't hike Yosemite. So again, I'm gonna need my partner to stick with me, because if it's 4 miles and it took me an hour, that is too long for us to be separated on this trail. I don't know everything about Yosemite. I don't know everything about hiking trails, but I do know what? There is wildlife out in the wild. There is wildlife out there. And because there's wildlife out there, what we can't do is separate. Well, what if I needed help? What if I tripped? What if I really needed my partner to truly help me on this trail? You have just left me on my own. You have just left me on my own and nothing to show for it. No help, no guidance. What if you needed help? Then I'm not there to help you at all. Again, this is not something you do. Usually, when you're going out in the wild wilderness on hiking trails, you partner up. It is not advised for you to be, there on trails by yourself. Right. Thank you, Mimi. It is about lion, tigers, and bears. It is about lion, tiger, and bears. So, what about the lions, the tigers, and the bears out there? Because we cannot fight them alone. Not at all. Not at all. There's no way. No way. So, I mean, we don't have tigers in the U.S. in Yosemite, and y'all, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. We don't have lions either, but definitely the bears. Okay, definitely the bears, and we are. I am not Jasmine Sullivan in any way. I'm not at all. I'm not at all Jasmine Sullivan. But so yeah, it is going to be, wild out there. Yes, Mimi, thank you. There are foxes around too. There is wildlife. Are there cougars too? And not the two-legged cougars. I'm talking about the four-legged cougars. There are cougars in the wild in California. We should not be separated while we're out hiking. Who got the bear spray? Unless we both got our bear spray, we're hiking with water. I mean, it is just not a safe thing for you to be hiking by yourself. It is absolutely not safe at all to be hiking by yourself. So, sir, you need to talk to her. Maybe she needs to go hiking with a friend who is as conditioned as she is, because she said you're not as conditioned. Well, I couldn't be her friend hiking. I'll wait for you back at the hotel. I'll be at the spa. Let me know when you're back and we can have dinner, okay? Just the 4 miles going down. Yeah, that 4 miles is it for me. That's it. I'm sorry. I love nature, whatever, but give me a golf cart or something. Okay? Hey, Debbie, glad to have you here. Glad to have you here live. We're talking about the first one. You haven't missed much. He was left behind by his girlfriend when they were hiking Yosemite in the last 4 miles, and it took him an hour to catch up with her. Dude, she don't want you doing this activity. Look at the whole relationship. Has she been leaving you behind? Has she been leaving you behind in more than just the hiking? Maybe you do want to share this with your partner, but maybe this is just not the activity y'all can and should be sharing together. Hey, my husband right now is at the basketball court. Okay, I am not trying to hoop with him. I used to hoop a little bit, but it ain't for me. I'm more of a, a, a Commonwealth girl. Now, if we were doing some cricket, badminton, and he ain't for that. He's like, badminton is a waste of time for him. But everybody's got their own things that they can share as a couple. And maybe you need to sit this one out, sir. Because if she's leaving you behind, it took you an hour to catch up. In that hour, anything could have happened between you and her. So I would say, yeah, she don't care about you. Thank you, Mimi. She doesn't care about him. He doesn't care about her. Let's just keep it moving and just separate ourselves and go hiking with someone that you can hike with. I have to visit Yosemite, but what I'm not going to do is one, leave my partner behind or be allowed to be left behind. Because we're going to tie ropes around the waist and we ain't going to get but so far. We ain't going to get but so far from each other. So y'all, let me know what unsolicited advice you have for this gentleman. I'm like, you gotta assess this relationship, see if there's anything else that she is leaving you behind on, and assess whether you want to stay in this, or maybe y'all just don't do these hiking activities together. Okay, maybe y'all you do a little bunny trail and she do another hiking and we meet back, but y'all partner up with somebody else, or maybe this is just not the activity as a couple. So y'all please put in a comment below. Let him know what you think about this. So let me get the next one. Are we trying it a different way? Somebody said, Elson, I don't see you when you are reading. So, let's try it this way. Okay, this is number 2. Says, my boyfriend, 23-year-old male, wants me, 23-year-old female, to pay him back. Recently, I got sick, and my boyfriend, as he was leaving in the morning for work, tells me he'll get me some medicine on the way back home from work. He also said that the night before. After work, he did get the medicine and then called me asking me if I would pay half for it because it was $40. I was taken aback because I thought he wanted to take care of me. I asked him why didn't he communicate before, because I would have gotten my own, knowing he wasn't actually getting it for me. He started being defensive and saying how he's not my parent and he was not going to pay for dates and gifts and miscellaneous things all at once. He then starts to ask me, what do I provide for the relationship? I said I needed space, and then he called me and said next time if he offers to get something for me but doesn't say he'll pay for it, then I shouldn't assume. I said that was wrong. We should always set expectations before committing to the act. Then he yelled at me saying I shouldn't interrupt him and he doesn't want to see me that night and indefinitely. I returned the medicine and bought one for myself. He says I'm disrespecting his efforts for getting it for me. I called him this morning. He still blew up and yelled at me and said he was not going to talk to me till he gets off of work. He says moving forward, that is the plan, that he doesn't want to pay for miscellaneous things anymore. And I could either get on his page or leave. I don't know. Is this normal in a relationship? Are there men out there who would want to pay for things and not argue or insult or yell at their partners if they feel like there is an imbalance? Mm-mm-mm. Hey, High Five, glad to have you here. Hey, Munira, glad y'all walked in while I was reading. I'm trying a new setup with the picture on the side, okay? Trying a new setup. See if, this is easier. Someone said they don't see me when I'm reading so impassionately. So, the boyfriend, she's sick. He offered to go get medicine. He got the medicine, and now he wants the money back from the medicine. And when she's like, hey, I would have just got my own if you weren't going to be doing this, if it was not a goodness of your heart. He's like, hey, I can't do dates, paying for all kinds of stuff and miscellaneous items. But then he bucked up and he got mad. And I think he got maybe disrespectful. But again, we only know the words on the page. We only know her side. And that's why I always think for clarity. Clarity. Ma'am, the way you asked him, say, are you getting it for me? Are you buying this for me out of the goodness of your heart? That, if you had said that upfront when he said he was going to get the medicine, that would totally be understood. Mimi says, Mr. El Cheapo. Okay? We are a bilingual chat, okay? If you wish to, you certainly can use different language. I may need a translation, but I know what El Cheapo means. I know what El Cheapo means. So again, if he was expecting reimbursement, okay? Hey, Samantha. Hey, El7 fam. I'm packing, so I can't stay in chat, but I'm listening. Love you all. Glad, Samantha. Just, by the time we get to the last one, don't drop anything that's fragile, okay? Don't drop anything that's fragile. So he's saying, yeah, he should have said, hey, I'll get this for you, but I can't afford it till my next check or whatever. He should have asked for funds ahead of time. If he wasn't going to cover it, it's like, hey, I could get you that medicine, but if it's more than $20, okay? If it's more than $20, I'm gonna need you to break me off some bread, okay? Oh, we have two packers here. Mimi is packing and texting Samantha. I hope y'all ain't packing up the same house. Okay, Samantha, you'll be careful. So Mimi, that's for you too. Be careful by the time we get to the good spicy one, because it's a good spicy one for the last one. So both of them could have been more open in their communication. Both of them could have said upfront. He could have said, hey, if this medicine's gonna be more than $20, I ain't got it. I'm gonna need you to help me pay for that. Or, hey, she could have said, hey, if you're getting me the medicine, honey, do you have enough money to cover it? Those are like gentle ways of kind of, sussing it out, seeing if money is expected or if money is going to be given. And if he says, no, I got it for you, once it's, it's within budget, it's, $30 or so. Now, young lady, in this day and age, I'm going to, y'all are 23. Okay. I am, I'm more than 23. Okay. Don't let the grades fool you, but I'm more than 23. And I know how to order medicine and have it delivered via delivery service. I'm not going to say which ones. One begins with a U. I have been sick at a hotel at a conference, and I've had medicine delivered to me at the hotel. There's no reason you couldn't have done it and just had them deliver it, unless you were looking for him to pay for it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you were looking for him to pay for it, and you just benefit from it. Or maybe you weren't thinking that clear at all, because you did say you were sick. And I'm going to think it's a cold or it's the flu. Maybe you weren't all together in their faculties. Munira said he's quite young. Maybe he doesn't have enough income for everything she wants. Maybe. Hey, Jackson Tabasco, glad to have you here. Maybe he doesn't have all the money. He did both 23. So what we're talking about, Jackson Tabasco, and all of you who are in the clouds listening, she was sick. He offered to get her medicine on the way home from work. The medicine turns out to be $40, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna need, you to cover half. And she's, upset because she's like, wait, I thought you were just paying for it. And he's upset saying, hey, I can't be paying for dates and everything and pick up the tab for your medicine. He was quite snappy. She said he was defensive. And he said he's not her parent. He doesn't have to pay for dates, gifts, and miscellaneous. So he's like, the dates and gifts are what I'm going to do. But miscellaneous, you sick? You on your own. Munira said, medicines cost a lot. She needs help with the cost. Right, now, we need to figure out if we have jobs, okay? 23, maybe you're finishing college. And maybe if you have a job, or maybe if you're on your parents' medical, there's something called flexible spending account where the you could buy over-the-counter stuff. There are certain rules for different ones, but certainly there's a way you set aside money that reduces your taxable income in order for you to afford medicines, copays, and other medical stuff not covered by your insurance. That's something at 23 y'all could look into. Okay? Yeah, 23 years old, they're trying to thrive and survive. Right. He said he's paying for dates. He's paying for all that. What I don't like is him saying, I ain't your daddy. I ain't your parents. I'm paying for dates. I'm paying for gifts. And now I got to pay to get you healthy and well. Well, sir, both of you need to communicate ahead of time. Both of you need to say, hey, I can't afford to pay for medicines. I don't get paid till the end of the month. I don't get paid till Friday. I'm going to need help. I planned a date. I already paid for dates. Hey, we're just not speaking to each other. We're not saying it all. Mimi said, somebody's not setting clear expectations. And it could be, hear me out, Mimi. Hear me out. It could be that because he's doing dates, he's doing gifts, he may be doing a lot. When the gentleman is doing a lot, we have an expectation that you're going to keep on doing. That if you make it seem like you're money long, guess what? She may have the expectation that there is no issue with you paying for $40 worth because of what you presented. My grandfather used to say, make sure you're not with somebody with deep pockets but short arms. Now, he may be showing he got deep pockets, but maybe he got short arms, meaning you can't reach the money in your pocket to handle business. Okay? So again, that is something y'all need to communicate. Y'all need to, it seems like you're coming up to a point of finances do matter. And if $40 is an issue, he's paying for dates, he's paying for gifts. Maybe he isn't as well off as he's trying to present himself to be. Maybe he is not. But guess what? Y'all got to talk. And so you can't get defensive if she's expecting that you would pay for it. You didn't make it clear up front, and she didn't make it clear. So y'all need to just sit down and say, hey, we both didn't make it clear. But guess what? We can work this out. This is not the end of any relationship. This is just the beginning of we need to communicate better with each other. So y'all, let us know in the comments below, what do you think about the expectations of both of them? What do you think the advice should be? I just gave my unsolicited advice. Just need to talk. Just leave it in the comments. Some men want more than the peach. He's one, I guess, to look at. Maybe he's one to keep your eye on. I'm not sure what your eyes mean, Mimi, but we will definitely look and see. Maybe he just wants to get her well so he can have access. Hey, Letitia, we are getting over to the third one. You are not late, my dear. We are still in the, how can I say it, the mild section for today. And we're trying it in a different way. Let me pull up the next one. Okay. Now, I don't like using the word stupid, and that is because, I don't like the connotation it gives, but I'm reading exactly what they did. Is it stupid if I, 25-year-old female, break up with my boyfriend, who's a 29-year-old male, in part because he told me, in quotations, you're only the third prettiest girl I've dated? Simple question. Basically, what happened is I said that a friend of mine said she thought he was one of the most attractive guys I've dated. And then he said, you are only the third prettiest girl I've ever dated. Yeah. Yeah. This isn't the first time, she goes on to say. We were kind of having a little back and forth. He said, I was the prettiest girl in the room one time when I was the only girl in the room. And I said, well, probably I'm the prettiest girl in most rooms. And he said, that's definitely not true. Now, he does know I feel insecure, a way about my looks. I sent him a reel on Instagram and he said the girl in the reel was cute. However, he is frustrated by this and doesn't understand why it's a problem that he thinks that girl on Instagram is cute, but I'm not the prettiest that he's dated. There are also other issues within our relationship that goes beyond this, but I've never had any boyfriend make me feel insecure about the way I look or make me feel like I wasn't the prettiest girl in the world, at least to them. If that wasn't true, they definitely didn't let me know. I really feel like crap about this, and I think this is just the last straw on the camel's back for me. Am I being ridiculous? Y'all, Debbie says, oh, hell to the no. Hey, in the ranking, he said that, she's only the third prettiest girl. Now, the reason I picked this, y'all know I cover Love is Blind, but I also cover Married at First Sight Australia. If you've never seen it, and it's always, there's some YouTube sites you could look on it, but they always put an activity where the spouses rank all the other, brides or grooms. So a man will rank all the other brides and then rank his wife amidst all the other brides or contestants based on whatever criteria they want. And usually it's looks. So when I saw this one, I was like, ooh, this is taking me back to my Married at First Sight Australia. That's what it's doing. And so he's saying she's the third prettiest girl that he's ever dated and thought it was real cute. Real cute. Hey, to go to Africa. Come on in. Yes, we are number 3. You're not too late. Okay. But Samantha's packing, Mimi's packing, everybody else is just listening. But yeah, he says she is the third prettiest girl he's ever dated. And then he has the nerve to say she's the prettiest girl when there's no other woman in the room. Girl, run. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. The fact that he can open his mouth and say that, the fact that he can say that is enough for me. And he's saying that sober? Yeah, it's enough for me. You think the girl on Instagram is cute? You only pretty when there's nobody else in the room? The only prettiest then? I'm not saying you need to fall all over her feet, sir. But certainly, it's a reflection on you, the lady you're with, too. And just let's throw that kernel in there. It's a reflection on you. So if she's the third prettiest and you think you are that handsome, you picked her. You picked to stay with her. She should have pled the fifth. She shouldn't have asked the question. Don't ask the question if you're not prepared for the answer. Okay? Do not ask any questions. She should leave him for her own well-being. It seems so. She's saying that, hey, she doesn't feel, attractive because of what he's saying. That the Instagram girl with the lighting and the filters, okay, let's say the Instagram girl is, cute, cuter than his girlfriend. Girl, I would run. I would run. There's no way I would stay with someone. No way I would stay with someone. And the chat is agreeing that she should leave for her well-being. So again, young lady, I would not stay with him. I would not entertain this. I would not be asking all these questions. If he thinks they're prettier, if he thinks he wants to be with them, let him be. Let him be. Because clearly you need these words of affirmation where you feel like you are the prettiest to your partner. And he's saying you come in third. I'm glad you didn't say anything about trying to change yourself to make yourself look like you're the prettiest one, because I would have been really, really struggling with that with you. I'll be like, even run further. But y'all, what are your unsolicited advice for this young lady? Because, we start off with a little Spanish, a little Mr. El Chipo. I'm going to say no bueno. This is not good. He is not helping you. He is not, affirming you. Even if he needs to learn some things. He needs to learn to bite his tongue. He should have said she was the prettiest. He could have. Yeah, he could have said it. But he didn't. He chose, sometimes they may not be, how can I say it? You may not win the pageant, but you are still a beauty queen. You understand? Just because one person won the crown doesn't mean the other ladies on the stage aren't beautiful or aren't pretty. So he needs to expand his vocabulary. Because, sir, even though her friend thinks you're handsome, and watch that friend. If that friend said he's the handsomest man that you have ever pulled, watch that friend. Because that friend may be watching hard too. That friend may be looking hard and saying, that's the handsomest man you ever got. What's going on that your market share is increasing? Watch that friend. That's the only other piece of advice I have for you. Or the friend could have been setting up for you to go ask this question, and now you done fumble, the whole relationship. But then again, you didn't fumble the relationship. He did with his response. He shouldn't have said anything if he felt that she wasn't the most attractive. Right. Honey, you're beautiful in my eyes. You're beautiful in my eyes. You didn't have to rank it. We didn't have to rank it third. Golly, dude. Get with the program and say, hey, you're beautiful to me. That's why we're together. That's it. That's a simple way. So y'all, what is your unsolicited advice for this young lady, the dude, or even the friend? Because the friend is messed up. Please put it in the comments below, and let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Because as we go along, we are getting spicier and spicier with the advice. Okay, this lady is saying that this 38-year-old female is married to a 46-year-old male, says that he has reconnected with his high school friend, and I'm freaking out about it. How can I handle this maturely? As the title says, my husband was in his home country for a few days and bumped into a high school classmate, a female, from 30 years ago. They recognized each other, decided to go out for a drink and catch up. He told me about all of it, and I was totally okay with it. After a couple of hours, he called me and told me he was so happy to see her again, that she is now married to a lady, and that they talked about their lives, experiences, and families. Again, all is fine. He came back home a couple weeks ago. I see him in his phone, and they've been talking every day since they saw each other. until the day he left his home country. She asked to see him again, to which he said he didn't have the time. She insisted, but he wasn't able to meet her. They had a couple of phone calls in between the texts, and when he flew back home to me, she wrote him to check on whether he landed safely. She then wrote him again a few days later, and he sent her a picture of our dogs. She then sent him, one of, the duck face kissy selfies and wished her, I guess, happy Easter at the time. To which point it freaked me out. I saw that notification and I freaked out. I told him it feels like a boundary is being crossed, and I told him about it. And he answered that he also found it weird that she sent him the duck face kissy emoji. He answered politely with a message saying, "We also wish you a happy Easter to you and your family." Yesterday, she texted him again, checking on him and asking him to send her some pictures. I trust my husband, but I have a feeling that she's testing the waters. And I asked myself, what happened during this catch up after 30 years that they suddenly hit it off and want to communicate so often? What would you do in this situation? First of all, I wonder. I need to know the countries. And shout out to Jesse Wu. I need to know if the continents meet. I need to know how close are these countries are we talking about? Okay? I'm stateside. Is the other country Europe? Does it take at least a 4-hour plane ride to get wherever the home country is? See, we need details. We thrive on more details. She needs to get on his XXX. Ooh, okay, okay. Yes, where are they from? Yeah, I need to know. I need to know. Need to know how close the continents are meeting. Because if it's just a 2-hour plane ride, then I'm yeah, yeah. But if it's a 8-hour, if we gotta fly from to Europe, if we got to fly from the US to Africa, then that's something different. You can't get to me as quickly. Not saying technology can't be used for, cheating purposes, but I need to know where, what's the distance. So let's say, hey, he flew, he landed. She's sending duck face kissy emoji. What, we need to have a whole family call, meaning because he says she's married to a lady. He's married to a lady. We need to have a phone call, a video call where we all say, hey, I get to meet her wife. She gets to meet his wife. Yeah, we need a little video conference call so I could check it out. I wonder if she likes men too. She could. She could. I wonder if you're saying it's a classmate. I wonder if they dated in high school. Did they date in high school? Were they high school sweethearts? Were they prom dates of each other? I wonder, because I need to know too. Depending on the culture, I'll know kind of like how high school is handled. Did they go to the same school? Did they not? How were they in school? Or drop something in the little school chat because alumni have the little alumni chat. I wouldn't do anything unless he planned to go back home again. But yeah, but I don't want to wait to go to Africa. I don't want to wait. I need to lay ground rules now in case he does go back home. You never know. It's like, hey, let's do a video chat. Let's do a Zoom dinner with her spouse and your spouse. And we can all chat and catch up. Because apparently her spouse didn't go on the trip. So we can all get to know each other. That's the way I suss it out. And see how she acts on video, especially with her spouse around. And I may be like, ha ha ha, while we're laughing and everything, blah, 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 blah. It's like, y'all, why don't we do that duck face, like the duck face you sent him. Let's all do a duck face like you sent him and hold the picture up. And let's see if her wife knows she's sending duck kissy faces to other people. See, that's me being a little messy and petty. I got all my friends. We ain't going. We ain't doing no FaceTime. Nip that in the butt. I got my own friends. I understand, but if he has to go back to the home country, she needs to feel comfortable with all of this. She said she's okay with him. It's her. He hasn't done anything wrong. when he responded to the duck face, he's like, we, my family, which is your family, a happy Easter. He answered, and maybe because the wife is standing over his shoulder, he answered appropriately. She's saying that the young lady is the one constantly sending him something that's inappropriate or doing too much. Just doing too much. Even if you're caught up with your friend, you're just doing too much. Calm it down. His wife is like, calm it down. So y'all need to talk. Y'all need to talk. And she needs to talk to this young lady. So this young lady knows, maybe you're uncomfortable too. But just the interactions, like, oh, well, he ain't coming back until, I'm coming back with him. We could all get together. But we need to know, as Jesse Wu says, how the continents meet. We need to know how closely. I need to know where this home country is, because that'll give me a sense of, can he fly over there a quick weekend and come back? But she's saying she has faith in her husband. He has shown no behavior patterns. It's the friend. And he would need to have a conversation with his friend. Yes, High Vibe said conversations are needed. Stat. Yes, they are. And he needs to let his friend know a boundary. It's like, hey, we grown now. It's been 30 years. I have a wife. Don't be messing up my good thing on my continent. I usually don't feel threatened by my man if he had a close lesbian friend. I understand that. But again, if she's not threatened or she didn't feel some kind of way till she was sending kissy face emojis. And for some people, that is a sense of you starting to flirt a little too much. And it could mean nothing to her, but then how do we know? Unless we have conversations. Unless I see, how y'all interact with each other and how she's making moves as well. Hey, Felicia H., glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. So y'all, let's go to the next one. Any unsolicited advice you have for her about the situation? We certainly in the chat say conversations need to be had. Conversation with your husband, how he plans to probably talk to, his friend. And as High Vibe says, from Love is Blind, DC, Tyler had a lesbian friend too, which, he gave the gift of life by fathering the first child and then naturally fathered the twins after. So why our antennas go up with the lesbian friend is, not all of them are created equal, but High Vibe is reminding us that it ain't always safe. The friend of a rainbow persuasion, okay? It ain't always safe to say that they don't get down with the get down. So yes, maybe the wife knows about Tyler and the show. That's why she's like, yeah, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. But y'all leave your unsolicited advice in the comments and let us know exactly what they should do. Exactly what they should do. Now let me get to the next one. And the next one is number 5. Ooh, I forgot for a moment exactly which one I just ended on. There we go. Number 5 says, my fiance, a 24-year-old female, cheated on me, 26-year-old male, and I just found out about it. So my ex-fiance, we know already what happened. So my ex-fiance and I were together for 4 years, engaged for the last year of the relationship. Things were good at first, like they are usually during the beginning, but there's some red flags sprinkled in there, which out of loneliness and or stupidity, I ignored. Fast forward a month ago. I think he was like, rewind to a month ago. We were waking up to the start of our day. She's working. I'm off on this day and helping her get everything together. We said our goodbyes. I head back to go lay down a little longer and see she left her phone in our bed. So I grab it, ran out the door, yelling her name. She didn't hear or see me. After waiting a minute or two longer, I figured she'd realize and turned around. So I went back in, set her phone down, and started getting the dog some breakfast. Then it hit me. A terrible gut feeling that something was wrong. A feeling that I've gotten a few times already, but ignored. She's been accusing me of cheating and going through my phone more and more, all seemingly for no reason. I completely realized and appreciate that this was a wrong decision, but I decided to just peep her Snapchat to just appease myself to maybe get rid of this feeling because I was just anxious, right? I wish I found out she had slept with another guy a year ago and was still talking to him, calling him baby and flirting. Upon confronting her about it, she said it was only once and she never flirted or anything with him again. Needless to say, I ended the relationship then and there. She's constantly asking for another chance. But whenever I bring up what she did, she just immediately brings up anything wrong I've ever done, even if it was years ago. We live in the same place still because economically and all that. But I have, a feeling that I'm just lost. I still do love her. Somehow, bad feelings like I'm the one causing her pain, even though I didn't want any of this. I think I just need a little advice because this is my longest relationship. I don't know who to ask about it. Thank you to anyone who answers. So here he is. They've been together for 4 years, but the last year they're engaged. 24-year-old female, and this is a 26-year-old male. She's been accusing him of cheating. She's been accusing him of cheating when she's the one that cheated. I think she was trying to catch him to kind of appease her. Hey, Lady T-Bug, glad to have you here. Y'all, please check out Lady T-Bug's YouTube channel if you want to get, all your crime, details, information. She is covering several cases, and it's always a great time on her channel on the front porch. Glad to have you here. He should leave her. He said he left her, but I'm thinking she's kind of trying to pull him back. So she cheated that one time, lied and said she hasn't flirted. He's seeing it in her phone that she's still flirting. It's like, dude, she's gonna lie to you again. She already lied to you and trying to push it on you that you were cheating. That's what she's trying to do. She's saying you were cheating. While she's deflecting, she was hoping you were cheating so she could be like, oh, well, that's why I, kind of ease her conscience when she's the one cheating. Now, we have seen that before where people, if they're doing wrong, they want to deflect and accuse you of doing wrong to hide their indiscretion. Hey, K Sharp, glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. They usually are the ones hiding their indiscretion. Hey, I said what I said, y'all. I said what I said. It's always creative on her channel as well. Please make sure that you click and you go to her channel and, subscribe. And she does a lot of true crime and also some political talks. It's always a good time over there at her channel. Yeah. So y'all, what advice do you have? He did leave her. So out of 4 years, the last year they're engaged. He needs to end the relationship. He needs to keep it ended. He ended the relationship. She cheated a year ago, still flirting with this man, but she was pushing like he was cheating, like her fiance was cheating, looking in his phone, and he's like, "Hey, you can see my phone. I'm not doing anything wrong." But she was banking on him doing something wrong. She was hoping he was doing something wrong. That's what it is. Jackson Tabasco says, I suggest will always be walk away. Yes, I know it's a typo. The suggestion is to walk away. And he did that. And we need him to stand firm on his walking away. We need him to stand firm on walking away and staying away from the relationship because it is not serving him at all. She was the one cheating, and now all of a sudden she's blaming him for cheating. How'd that work? How'd that work? Choose peace. Jackson Vasquez, choose peace. Keep your peace, young man. Block her. How is she even contacting you? Well, you know what? Y'all are living together in the same place. How much months we got on this lease? I need to know how much. See, we need details around here. We need to know how much time is left on this lease because, young man, if it is a quarter, meaning 3 months, if it's 3 months, it may be a little suffering in this economy and all that. Y'all live in the same place. I just hope that it ain't, 10 more months left on your lease. I hope, 10 more months ain't left on your lease and you got to live with her for 10 more months. I'm sorry. I am just sorry. Here come, hey, Lindsay. See, Lindsay is usually our advocate, y'all. And say hello to Lindsay in the chat. She's usually the advocate. But here she come with a plot twist. Now she's taking on a whole new role as our plot twist advocate. Plot twist, she pregnant. Plot twist, she probably was trying to be pregnant by him. Okay? Maybe she was trying. But we hope not. We hope it's not linked to anything that was going on, to any of the previous requests. You remember we did in another unsolicited advice, the young lady is pregnant, don't know who daddy is. We did that one. We hope not. So what we're saying, I think what Lindsay is trying to say, I'm going to use it to say what you're trying to say. That, young man, y'all are living together because the economy, you can't break your lease. We don't know how long it is. Don't fall back in, okay? Don't fall back in and end up fathering a child with this young lady. That ain't what you want. That ain't what you want. If you want to start dating, whatever, but you need to stand your ground and not go back there, because she may use that time to say, oh, we could get back together. We could get back together. You can forgive me. And then all of a sudden, all these 18 years, you're going to be raising a kid if you fall back in. Okay? She has cheated on you once. Be done with it. If y'all wish to go, some people can. I'm not of that ministry. Some people can forgive an infidelity and move it along with their relationship. Then you need professional advice. Y'all need professional help to get through that, if that's your wish. But you already broke up the engagement. You said you're done. I'm saying hold firm to your boundaries, because if you do that, then guess what? She's going to be able to have permission to cheat again. Hola. See, here's another one, Spanish speaking. Hola, Unfiltered Doll Reaction. Yo, we have a good time at Unfiltered Doll Reaction. So please go to her channel. And we get a little more reckless over there at her house, okay? But it's all in good fun, and it's grown folks conversations. So, young man, you were with her for 4 years, engaged for a year, and you're done with her because she cheated. If you forgive her just because y'all are living together in the same apartment because of the economy, guess what? You're going to be forgiven for the rest of your life. She's going to have her hooks into you. And as Lindsay said, she may be trying to be expecting your child if this, if this turns out. She slept with a guy a year ago. Now she wants, forgiveness. She's been trying to see if you're cheating, digging in your phone, and you're like, hey, I ain't doing nothing. Here's the phone. You could look, you could search. And she's not finding it. Sir, you need to stay away. Make sure you find a place so when that lease is over, you can cut out. You can cut out and run out and not be around her, and you could truly block her. Say no to the cat. That's what, hey, K Sharp says, say no to the cat. Don't end up falling into the deep well and ending up, drawing water and end up with a kid months later. So, y'all, what is your unsolicited advice for him? Please let him know in the comments below, and we will get to the next one. We're trying something different. I said, let me pull up the files this way so y'all can, somebody asked, we don't see you when you're reading. We don't see you when you're reading. Now, this one is a long one, but I'm not going to read the whole thing. We have a limited time here. It says, I, a 22-year-old male, found out that my girlfriend still had eggplant pictures of her ex saved on her phone. Let's say that again. I, a 21-year-old male, found out that my girlfriend, a 21-year-old female, still has eggplant pics of her ex still saved on her phone. I need a female's perspective and advice if I should be worried about this. Me and my girlfriend, 21-year-old female, we've been dating for about 8 months. Things have been mostly great, but last week this happened. We're just chilling one night, looking through pics on her phone together. Nothing weird, just laughing at memes and old photos. She was looking for a meme on her camera roll to show me while she was swiping, and I saw a thumbnail that clearly said eggplant pics. I froze. I asked her about it. At first, she tried to brush it off like it was nothing and kept scrolling. After some pressing, she admitted it was her ex's eggplant. Then it got worse. She confessed that she has multiple explicit pics of him and videos of them having intimacy, including stuff like her licking the lollipop. What a whole collection. I felt like throwing up, honestly. She swears up and down she doesn't have feelings for him anymore. Says that she's just, forgotten to delete them, but she deleted all the other pics of him like a normal couple stuff. But for some reason, she kept those until I pushed her to get rid of them. She acted like it wasn't a big deal, but I'm struggling to buy that. Why keep that kind of stuff if you're over someone? It feels disrespectful to me. And honestly, it makes me wonder if she's still hung up, pun intended, on him, or I'm just not measuring up or something. So there were two updates, okay? She asked a friend if she ever talked about the ex, and said, yeah, the friend said that she pulls out the pics and bragging about the ex that she had before. And the update too says that, he's been dreading asking the girlfriend about it. And, another friend said that she would pull out the pics because of his size and his performance, and would show her friends that, it's a whole other level. Yeah. Yeah. Let me go up. Hey, Nestor, Shackle, Shuffle, Walk of Shame. Glad to have you here. You're coming in on one of the spicy ones. My God. Well, she's probably still riding to town on that fella. Now, Unfiltered Dawn always tells us, she says, yep, if they're keeping it, she always says they're still riding that stallion. Not clapping cheeks. Yes, she got the videos of the clapping the cheeks. She got it. This is suspicious to me. Crosses all kinds of boundary. I'm literally disgusted. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Lindsay said no. Lindsay ain't advocating on this one. She said no eggplant pics. No eggplant pics at all. Not only the pics, but she got the... No, Jackson, Nebraska. They did not upload a picture with the letter. And for that, I would need a membership wall to be able to show you. Or maybe if anything has a pic, I'll just make sure I have a ruler here so I can let you know measurements and sizes. Okay. We need visuals around here. We do need size. Size matters around here. Nothing in my synopsis do I see that what any specifications on size. Okay. Nothing at all, other than, he is certainly more blessed and gifted than the man that is writing this, request for advice. But again, some people don't, it don't matter to them if their partner is blessed or not. Sounds like he has competition. Should have a serious conversation for her to delete them. If she doesn't, then he needs to leave her. He said she did delete them. Okay. And she acts like it's not a big deal. Now, here's my thing, sir. She may have deleted it from the phone, but we know there's a cloud. Now, did she delete them from all areas? She could have it in her Google Drive, and you think it's deleted. She could have sent it to a friend, or she could have it in a hidden vault. Now, I know I'm telling a lot of the playaways, and I'm sorry, young lady. I'm sorry if I'm telling all your business and your hiding spots. But there could be a hidden vault, sir, that you know nothing about, that is password protected, and she could have it there, okay? She lacks empathy. How would she feel if the tables were turned and he had big boobed naked exes on his phone? Okay. Then pics in that deleted folder. Yes, Jackson Tabasco, it's still in the deleted folder. I wonder if he made sure that she refreshed and deleted everything. She's still thumping and bumping that man to those pics. Those pics ain't a big deal. So she's using that for inspiration to get her in the mood with the current man she has because he isn't as blessed. Okay, we can see that because some people do, fantasize about somebody else when they thumping and bumping. This is a bit like cheating in my book. I can never have those kinds of pictures on my phone from an ex when I'm in a different relationship. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Now, my thing is, why am I keeping photographic proof? Why am I keeping that photographic proof first out there? You went through the trouble of deleting all the relationship photos, the lovely, simple photos on the beach, eating cotton candy, out of the movie theater, simple relationship photos. So you went through the photos. It took nothing for you to sort through, click on those, and hide them away. Are we keeping them there so we could pull it up at any time for inspiration? Is that what we're doing? If she's no longer into him and enjoys looking at those types of pics to look at, she should replace her ex's pics with him. I don't think the current dude is as blessed, okay? And he's not as gifted. The hard part is she's a participant in the videos. She's a participant in the video, so she can't even say, let me use this as instruction to my current. Why are these couples going through phones? In my question, well, they weren't going through phones, Unfiltered Doll. They were going. What he said is they were going through a phone. She was looking for a meme on her camera roll to show him, and while she was swiping, going through, that popped up. While she's swiping across the photos, that popped up. He froze, asked her about it. She tried to brush it off, and kept scrolling. And she kept scrolling, and there was more. And then he said it got worse. That after the photos was videos of them thumping and bumping. So he didn't go through her phone. He did not go through her phone. This is her, honey, I got something to show you. Honey, I got something to show you. And he did not, he didn't think he was going to see her ex's one-eyed monster, okay? He did not think he was going to see what she was dealing with before him. And because of him feeling this way, okay, because this is if you look at this, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraphs written for advice. It leads me to believe that he don't measure up. It leads me to believe you must have hit that play on that, button, and you saw that he outperformed you too. Then he went and asked the friends, and 2 updates on the bottom. He went to ask the friends. He went to ask the friends about it. And the friends are like, yeah, she used to brag about him and what he was doing to her. And she ain't brag about you. We don't know nothing about what you do. Because it don't measure up. He don't measure up. So he feel insecure by the photo and he feel insecure by the performance. It is not an Oscar-worthy performance. Yes, Mimi. He saw the size, how it works, and realized that is not him. He is not in the same competition. He don't add up. He don't add up at all. He don't add up. So that is the problem. That is the big problem. There's no way for him to be like, oh, wow. The fact that he sat there and wrote all of this, it was burning him up, pun intended. It was burning him up because he can't measure up. He can't measure up at all. At all. At all. Debbie. Yes. My. If I'm thinking the same Debbie, if y'all watch Addams Family Values, the Addams Family, Uncle Fester married Debbie. And he was whooped on Debbie from the minute he got to Debbie. Whooped all the way on Debbie. If that is the same way K-Sharp you're thinking about. But she's with him. What's the problem? The problem, I said what I said, is that he's thinking he's a pity party. He's thinking he's a pity party. Yes, she is with him, but he ain't performing. He ain't sizing up. He ain't giving her what needs to be given. He has not brought her to a new level. She's leveling down with him. Yes, she's with him. Yes, but maybe too, I'm hollering. Sorry, Lady Diva. Maybe two. Maybe he could tell by her performance in the video that she ain't really feeling what he giving. Maybe he see what she doing too in that video. Like, wait a minute, you don't holler like that for me. You don't holler like that with me. So I must not be performing. Now I'm kind of curious. Are there pics online asking for a friend? We asking for that. Now these are all, this is from Reddit, so there are no pictures. But whenever they tell us, we love the description. So I'm not sure how blessed, but it's more than him. Enough that he wrote 1, 2, 3, 5 paragraphs about it. So I'm thinking at least I'm giving an inch per paragraph. I'll give an inch per paragraph is how much more blessed he is. She's with him for his personality, and she could be, but he wants to give her more than personality. He shouldn't have to tell her to delete those. In fact, he did says a lot. Yeah. The fact that she got it out there, she don't care. Yes, Debbie from the movie needs to find someone else because I doubt he'll survive those incidents. I'm glad y'all are having a good time laughing. And sir, if you are, this is a small channel. I don't think you are, but if you are watching this, we not an inch. Come on, Elsa. I said an inch per paragraph. Okay, that is 5 more inches. That is 5 more inches. I'm giving the fact that he wrote 5 paragraphs. I'm giving the X 5 more inches than he got. That's all I'm saying. If he gonna be, he is pressed, y'all. He is pressed because he talked about the pictures and he talked about the video. So if it ain't it's not only the size of the man. The fact that he went to ask her friends tells me her performance with him don't add up to the video. She is putting on an Oscar-worthy performance there in that video, and he realized, wait a minute, she could be faking with me. Wait a minute. Is she faking with me? Because she don't be hooting and hollering like that with me. Wait a minute. Hey, I'm just saying what it could be. Give him an inch, he'll take a mile. Well, that's the problem. He thinking he a mile away from what the X is. He thinking he don't add up. He don't measure up. Because there's no man, if he see that and he looking at it like, yo, you need to delete that. You have to be truly pressed for you to sit down, grab your computer, and write 5 paragraphs. Update, go ask a friend. Update, ask another friend. You truly have to be pressed. Child, he may not want all of that all the time. That's why she downgraded. And right. It could be, a maintenance policy or plan. It could be a maintenance plan. That could be the issue. Okay, it could be a maintenance issue. You can't deal with that all the time. He's manufacturing a problem, in my opinion. He could be manufacturing a problem, or it could be that the problem. It could be that the problem, manifests itself. It could be, truly. But I have one more for y'all. Please let me know. Please let me know in the comments below what your unsolicited advice is for him. Man, he hurt over the length. Yes, he is hurt. Yes, he is hurt over the length. Sounds like she wanted him to see them. Seems like she wanted him to see them through. See them though. Okay. Yeah, maybe she wanted him to see. Maybe his performance doesn't add up, and she's like, hey, he needs some inspiration. But that inspiration backfired. It seems like that inspiration backfired. Okay. Yeah, he that length, that girth, the performance, he is pressed about it all. Y'all, let's get to the last one. Okay. We had a good time on this one, but let's get to the last one. Okay. It says, I, 22-year-old female, just got tested for 3 letters, a S, a T, and a D. Boyfriend, 22-year-old male, say he has not cheated. I recently started having a fishy aroma and started taking over-the-counter creams for it. What I thought would be cleared up, but it hasn't. I decided to take an at-home instant result test, which came up as a faint positive line for the clay and the media. My boyfriend swears he has not cheated and he has no symptoms, but I have not. And we both got negative tests at the start of our relationship. Can I trust this test result as it's a faint line? Can there be fake positives? For content, I doubt my boyfriend has cheated. He works 12-hour shifts every day and is with me otherwise. Mimi says, oh no, honey. Oh no. BV is it. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Girl, run. Mm-mm-mm. So let's talk the positives. The positives she gave us a clear indication that they, rightly so, tested before they got together. So my question is, how? How? Because if you took that at-home test back then, could it have been a false negative? If you're questioning it now, you need to go to the doctor. You need to actually get tested, like blood tests. There's levels to this, okay? Girl, take your to the doctor and get tested, please. Go to the clinic. Go to the clinic. Don't let that man play on top. Girl, don't let him play. Did they really get tested, though? That's my question. Did you really get tested at the beginning? Now, back in the day, back in the 90s, and for those of y'all who know Little Scooter, I said what I said, call someone Little Scooter on her channel. It sounds like back in the day, you could go get tested separately and get the results mailed to you, and it's sealed, and that is it. Girl, we're not talking about COVID. We're talking about your honeypot. Girl, Mimi said, stop with the at-home test. Go take your behind to the clinic or the doctor. Somebody doing something. Yes, I said what I said. Somebody is doing something and someone's. Somebody. Please don't be delusional. How long was the test together? We don't know. We don't know. Sorry. My eldest always interrupted our lives. So fish sounds like a problem. Visit an OBGYN. She needs to see and slide to the end of the, she needs to see an OBGYN and slide to the end of the table, put your feet up in those stirrups and get yourself an examination. I'm not sure if there's another way she could possibly get that. If she's questioning it, she needs to see a professional. Now, we got to go there, okay? Now, ladies, we have a bunch of ladies in the chat, and if any of the men are in the background, please understand that you are not, unwelcomed here. You certainly can put your instances in the chat. Maybe you've encountered, a fishy connotation from a lady, but it could be diet and hygiene. You said it was a faint test. Please go to the doctor. But if it ain't an S and a T or a D, okay, if it ain't one of those three letters, then certainly it could be diet and hygiene that could be making you go haywire down there. Okay? It could be. Yep. Jackson was laughing at slide to the end of the table. Slide. That's what we all got to do. I heard that if we use cream and soap down there, the body is allergic to it, can cause great irritated and infection and such. Yes. Depending on the what? The other three letters. The pH, not three, two letters. pH of it all. It could irritate and cause some unusual activity. If left untreated, the clay and the media can cause serious health complications, causing permanent damage to a woman's reproductive system, which can affect her ability to get pregnant later. Exactly. You got to get tested right now, young lady, and get into treatment. She's worried about the wrong thing. She better go to the doctor. Lose the guy. See, Lindsay is no longer the advocate tonight, y'all. Lindsay is not advocating tonight. She said, lose that guy. That guy ain't good for you. If you know you ain't the one carrying on, then you know he doing something. Samantha said, I gotta stop packing for this. Y'all, Samantha's packing to move. And she's like, I gotta stop for this. Go to the doctor. Don't play with your health. Amen, Sam. Amen. She smells like fish. It could be her body reacting to something. Body reacting to some dirty eggplant. Could be. I think homeboy may be calling in sick a time or two. Now, we don't know. She said he worked 12-hour shifts. That don't mean he don't have breaks for lunch. And I don't mean he can't be out in the parking lot, with a coworker in the car. We done had this talk other times. We done had this talk about messing with coworkers. We done had this talk. Very true. A little bit. She needs to stop playing. Yes, she needs to stop playing. Proper soap should be used to be hygienic with. She could also have a reaction and be sensitive to his glue if they're having unprotected reactions if he's not cheating. That's my question. When do we decide to be unprotected? Because some things could lay dormant. I hope, young lady, I hope y'all didn't, because you got a negative test at the beginning of a relationship, I hope y'all didn't go raw the whole time. I hope y'all weren't vegan at the beginning of a relationship, because some things lay dormant and need some time. She's making excuses for him. Yes, she is, Lady T-Bug. She is making excuses. And OBGYN I follow on YouTube said that if you're cleaning yourself, you should really use a very mild soap, warm water. Never insert the soap inside. That's what causes infections. Yes. Where there's a will, there's a way. You better preach, Lady T-Bug. Where there's a will, there's a way. As I said what I said, he could be taking breaks. He could be taking a day off. Is he still employed? Because there are some folks that are no longer employed, but still get up and go to work each day like they're still employed. We don't know. We don't know what he's doing on that 12-hour shift, or what his job is and what he's shifting. Some men have shortcomings, so 12-hour shift is plenty of time to release with his work wife. I cannot stand that term, work wife. I cannot stand work wife, work husband. No. There's only a legal husband and a legal wife. I cannot stand those terms. And they know in my office, don't let me see, hear anything, because I'm going to put you on blast. Because you should not defecate where you make your money. This is your money maker. Go outside and far and away. Don't mess with your money just to mess with someone. I can't stand that whole work wife, work husband. We could save that for Unsolicited Unscripted. We could talk about that on Friday too. Y'all just got to remind me. So y'all, what is your unsolicited advice for her? We done heard go to the doctor. We done heard clean up after yourself properly. We done heard both of y'all need to go to the doctor and get tested at this point. And if you know you ain't out there cheating, and if you know your hygiene is up to par, then it's him. You got a dirty dog in your midst. And he passing on the fleas and ticks to you. He passing that on to you. So you got to make your stance known. And don't be slipping and sliding together. Don't be slipping and sliding. Because guess what? You're going to be passing it, and you're never going to recover, because you just pass it to him, pass it to you, pass it to him, pass it to you. You got to stop. She needs to see if those 12-hour shifts pay match the direct deposit. So now we're going into auditing. K Sharp is telling you, make sure that the 12 hours are showing up in that pay stub. Are you seeing his pay stub? Are you seeing that direct deposit? Because that pay stub will tell you how many hours he clocked in for that week or that 2-week period. And if it don't add up to what it should, if he's taking too many long lunches, then you know he got the time to be messing around. Unfortunately, work relationships are very much yes, they are common, but guess what? They know me. We here to work. We're not here to make friends or boyfriends or whatever. There are people who have met at work and have gotten married, and they are happy together. I'm happy for them. I'm talking more the work people who have no business entertaining somebody else because they got somebody at home. That's the type of people I'm talking about. I'd ask him to get tested as well, just to be sure. Yes, I would ask him to get tested. And we need to do doctor visit test, the clinic test, a medical professional test. We cannot be taking these home tests and thinking it's the holy grail. It is a good indication that something is wrong. Don't get me wrong. You said there are faint lines, that there's something going on that's an issue. That is your first step to heading out. You already seem like you're taking a good stance on your health. You all got tested before in the relationship and it was negative. But a girl, you need periodic tests for anything that's laying dormant. So now you got to test and say, hey, something don't look right. So, well, you already know something don't smell right. But now we know, now we need to make an appointment at that clinic, at that doctor, and he need to have one too. He need to go too. Because if you got something and you know you ain't running out there, then you know you got a dog outside rolling around in the dirt and bringing home insects, okay? Bringing home 3 letters. And what you have right now is an S to a T to a D. What we don't need is other 3 letters or maybe 4 letters that you can't recover from. You have to take this seriously. Your health, yours and his health, has to be taken seriously. She can't think he's going to be honest with her. She thinks so, and it's a wonderful thing to believe that your person is on the up and up. They're not cheating. That's the wonderful part of such young love. Such young love. That's the wonderful part about it. She is 22. He is 22. That is young love. So you always think the best of your partner. I didn't, but I was, where I was from. But I was thinking, okay, there's a possibility that you could be lying to me. But she is thinking he is honest with her. He is going to work. He's working a full 12-hour shift, even though we know he only working 10-hour shifts. She thinks he is on the up and up. I used to see married people cheating on the job all the time, including 2 supervisors having a relationship. Girl, when we get to a membership level and we are behind a member wall, I could tell you about one of those where a district manager and operations manager were together and one of their spouses found out and came to the job. Yeah. That one is not for general YouTube. Woo! That is not for general YouTube. Don't go chasing after waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and streams that you're used to. In that, I think it was the second verse to say she gave Jimmy more loving than his body can handle. Okay? So we don't want you getting more loving that you can handle from this gentleman, okay? So go get your test. If it comes out positive from a medical professional, you better drop him. Because you know he bringing it home. You better drop him and move about your way, get yourself healthy, and move it along. If it is a false positive, then y'all could go about your business, but you need to figure out with your doctor what's going on with your body. It could be diet, it could be, the soap you're using. The medical professional, your OBGYN, can certainly help you in this journey. That's all we could say, a medical professional. Yes, honey, hush money necessary come Christmas time. Well, there was no hush money to be had because, girl, that was a doozy. I have to say, I can't say that. That will be a story. That will be a story time. We could have a Elsid story time, behind a member wall when we get there. But y'all, that one, how y'all brought that to my mind. Yeah, there's lots to say. But y'all, please state in the advice. Y'all gave us some great advice. Go to the doctor, go to the medical professional, find out exactly what's going on before you make any moves or make any decisions as far as your health. What's going on, the medical professional can help you. Before you start accusing him like I am, okay? Because you told me you ain't out there. He could be out there. We don't know him. We don't know you either, but we acting like we know you. But before you do anything, seek the medical professional, because if you ain't, then it's something else, and he really ain't cheating on you. But if you are, you got to get medical advice right now so you can get yourself healthy. Another wonderful show. I look forward to reconnecting with my chat fam after I get settled in my new place. Miss you all so much. We miss you too, Samantha. Hope you don't miss Friday. See y'all Fridays. We are right now doing unscripted. Elle said unscripted. So basically, whatever you want to talk about, there's a post on my channel that you could certainly start off. There's some great suggestions right now that we could start our conversation on Friday. We do this unsolicited advice usually on Sundays, Wednesdays. Yeah, that's when we do it, right? Sunday, Wednesday. Maybe sometimes I throw in a Thursday. But next month, we start Alone Season 12. This is where people are dropped off and they have to survive as long as they can alone for, I think, $500,000 or $1,000,000. This time it's in Africa. And I watch this survival show because I'm an amateur. I know how to start a fire, but I definitely can't be hunting, dressing, and taking alone and building myself a shelter. That ain't, sorry, that ain't me. That ain't me. But we have Alone next month, and I got to fit that in. And we're waiting with bated breath for Love is Blind. Love is Blind, either Brazil or France or Italy or UK. There are 4 that could drop at any time, and we're waiting for those. In the meantime, we're doing this unsolicited advice. We're unscripted. And next week, I have a surprise for y'all. I am going to post it. We are going to have our first interview next week from someone from one of these reality shows. I'm not going to say who it is. We're going to have our first interview next week. So no unsolicited advice next week, Wednesday. We'll have our first guest. I know y'all were hoping it'll be Mr. El Cid, but somebody beat him to the punch. Somebody beat him to the gate. And we will have our first interview. So look out for that live posting. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So when we do the interview next week and any of the lives that I'm doing Friday, Sunday, and somebody's son on Tuesday next week, that you are here for it. Yes, enjoy the rest of your evening. I thank you all for being here. It is a wonderful time here. We try to give people great advice and unsolicited advice, but we all here. What can I stream this show? I just finished a survival class. It is on Alone is on the History Channel. It's on the History Channel, and then it is after the History Channel, it is, I think, on another streaming service, but it is on History Channel's website. Yes, y'all will see exactly. Thank you all for congratulations. I'm so glad the person agreed. Y'all will see based on the thumbnail who I'm interviewing. But I appreciate all of you all. I appreciate everything. And we're going to continue to grow here, okay? We're going to continue to grow here. And you know what I always say? I will see you on the next one.